Hello and thanks for joining the Thursday edition of Journalists Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Today on the show, governors lament poor states of federal roads as federal government brings back toll gates. Federal government steps up efforts for repatriation of another tranche of $300 million Abacha loot. And later on the show, Army declares 22 soldiers wanted for refusing to fight Boko Haram. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and ADEKUNLE YUSUF. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for joining us. A poor state of infrastructure in Nigeria, particularly roads, is a great source of headache to Nigerians. Now, governors have joined in the lamentation over the poor state of federal roads in their states. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, whose convoy got stuck on the BENIN-EKPOMA-AUCHI highway, raised alarm over deplorable states of that particular road. Meanwhile, after a decade of facing it out, the federal government announced plans for the return of toll gates on the federal highways in the country. Let's listen to Godwin Obaseki now.
I think it's beyond being a federal road. I mean, you know, this is a major road. It's the economic lifeline of Edo State. You cannot go from, this is the road that takes you from Benin through the longest span of the state to Edo North. You know, we're stuck here. We cannot get from Benin to Ekpoma, you know, because the road has failed. What's sad is it would have cost us a fraction of the amount if our call was heeded 2-3 months ago. We had made pleas, we begged, we had done everything possible to the federal authorities to just help with maintenance before the rains. You can see we are cut off as a state. I mean, and this is really devastating for us. Our economy is grounded. We just don't know. We don't know. I mean, we're really helpless. But the issue is, if 3 months ago our call was heeded, we would not be in a situation we are in today. It just don't, we just don't see care. Nobody really is concerned about this country. It's really sad. It's not about federal roads. It's about Nigeria.
The bad place, we have nowhere to pass. It remained like this for the past 2 months. I'm going to Ekpoma and I'm going to spend up to 2 hours on this road.
No government for this nation.
To get to Ekpoma, I will spend 2 hours on this road. Okay. We have nowhere to pass it.
Well, Babajide, what we were saying before that if Governor Obaseki he has not been caught in the web of the bad roads, even federal roads are very bad. But I doubt it. If a governor can say this, I don't know the number of TRANCHE road or inner roads within Benin City or outside Edo States that even under his purview, he can't say all is well. But what he's really saying that is really touching, that if a governor can be lamenting like that, you know the situation is really bad.
Yes.
Because what they do is that they fly.
If the governor, they can't fly all the time. They still, at least if they are moving around their states, they must use the roads. And as we have seen, these governors, they go to their ancestral homes, their villages and all that. So you must use those roads. You can't spend all the time flying. And it's not even all parts of Nigeria that you can access by air. No, it's not everywhere. For example, if I'm going to Katsina from Kano now, I can't go by air. There are still many communities that you have
have a helicopter.
You have to go. You are forced to use our roads. The truth is, federal roads are in a deplorable state. This governor was speaking the mind of other governors. We have to contextualize his lamentation. It's not an issue of, oh, even in his own state, there are bad roads. There will be bad roads. But if a road is very, very crucial, it links major communities in your state, then that road has to be fixed. We have a situation in which governors who can't stand the deplorable state of federal roads in their states are spending their own money to fix federal roads. And the president has told Fashola that Fashola should tell those governors that they should no longer fix federal roads unless they are prepared to do it for free. Look at what Fashola said when he met House of Reps members, quoting the president. He said, the president said, tell them not to fix my roads. Of course, they are not his roads. Again, if they are going to claim compensation, if you want compensation, go and mind your business while I mind mine. This is because I have inherited enough debts.
But apparently the federal government cannot mind its own business the way it is. How many federal roads do we have across the country? 400. And they don't have the capacity.
Fashola has 472 federal road projects. How many of them can he do? What is the size of the budget, even for his ministry? The truth is, it's been debated and debated that, look, who should be in control of those so-called federal roads, roads running through states? You say that, oh, once some roads connect 2 or 3 local governments together, they are federal roads. Who should be in charge? This is a federal government that looks like a behemoth.
It's too big.
Gathering much more than it can handle. And the states, look at what the governors of Ogun and Lagos, they say, please hand over this road to us, let us do it. It's beginning to happen. Because it is the citizens of those states who suffer due to neglect by the part of the federal government. Go to Taraba State, the roads linking Taraba and Adamawa. Those roads, all that you need to do is, it's not as if those 2 states are far apart. No.
Ordinarily, it should be 1 hour journey.
Mayo Belwa to Jalingo, it's not far, but the road is terrible. I've been on that road a number of times. No man, Yola Road, the same thing. You will now find a situation in which roads, journeys that people ordinarily should spend 5 hours, Nigerians will be spending 12 hours and all that. You can't continue to suffer people like this, and then you say that they should not touch those roads. I asked the governor, one of the governors of the Northeast, I said, see, it is important if you want development to come to your state, the road leading to your state capital, you cannot afford to leave the road unattended to. He said, look, I spent so much money repairing federal roads and have not been paid. So it's easy to understand the dilemma of those governors, that you spend money on federal roads and nobody is prepared to pay you. You are now being blackmailed that, oh, that they brought very huge bills. Who does not know that it costs so much to fix roads? Are the roads that the federal government is doing not even prohibitive in terms of cost? Do we not know that those roads are prohibitive when you talk about the cost of those roads? So what are we talking about? It's a national shame that we have the kind of roads that we have in Nigeria. Let me show Nigerians that we are already behaving like an irresponsible nation. Look at the road that links Nigeria, the superhighway that links Nigeria with other West African
Lagos-Badagry Express Road.
Just go and look at Nigeria, the Nigerian portion of that road. Look at it and look at the Benin portion to see the shame of a country.
The last time
we left it like that.
We went to Semeboda, disaster.
Get into Benin Republic, look at their own portion of that same road. Because that road goes all the way. The Benin portion of that road compared to our own portion.
They've even turned it to a dump site. Heaps of refuse as you are going from Volkswagen down to Mile 2, down. Before you have Alaba, Lasso. You have just,
so this is the thing. They don't have the resources to fix all those roads. And states are trying to help. You are telling them now that they should not, that the debt, the president said the debt they inherited is already too much, that they should not touch those roads. So it's only people who come and do your own roads for you for free that you are looking for.
Adekunle, what's the way out of this situation? Apparently, the federal government is trying to take responsibility for these roads, but apparently they have bigger responsibilities to cater for, and they don't even have the means, the budget, to actually repair those roads or maintain those roads.
Just as you know, Jide said, go over Nigeria. It is even worse in the south. If you go to the southeast, sometimes you don't want to believe it is part of Nigeria. Virtually all the roads in Enugu are not good. Go to the south. What you will see, Nigeria will look like a country that is just emerging from several decades of war. You know, where destruction on a massive scale has just taken place, which is not true. I was on Badagry, road recently. I didn't know when I said, so even some of us who claim to know Lagos really don't know anything.
Anything. What's Agbara?
I thought,
by the time you get to those
with what I saw, I said, you mean this is part of Lagos State?
Yeah. Janiki.
Going to last.
We are not saying 1 mile, 2 miles. This is a long stretch up to Benin Republic. What you will never believe you can see even in a village. You see it in a metropolis like Lagos. But let's talk.
And those areas are densely populated.
Yes. Let's discuss the real problems. What we seem to lack is that we don't care about development. Because if you care about development, what happens in other countries is that if you want even development on a very fast, you empower the states. When you look in other countries, you say federal, how does the federal government see or know the state of every road in Nigeria? But when look at the allocation, formula in Nigeria. Look at what is put in the exclusive list in Nigeria. When you look at that alone, you just believe that we don't ever care about development. Because if you do, what should happen is that there should be more empowerment, more money that should accrue to governments that are nearer to the people, the states and the local government, not the federal government. So let me give you an example. When Rauf Aregbesola was governor of Osun State, he said he started dualizing from Gbogon to Osogbo, then from Osogbo to the boundary of Kwara and many other federal roads like that. These are gigantic projects. That are federal government, projects. I believe he was doing that under the belief that after all, it's the same power, the same party in power at the state and federal level. Despite, the passion he brought into,
governance,
he couldn't achieve much. You understand me? If money were to be available to go Rauf Aregbesola at that time, I'm 100% sure that those roads will have been in excellent form as we are speaking today. Osun would have been like a mini Dubai in terms of little you will be able to do. Many of these things he was unable to achieve them, not because he wasn't ready, but because cash. Let me tell you, how do you say federal government should take 50-something% of revenues in Nigeria and you allocate pittance to the state government and the local government? When you look at it, it shows that we are not really ready. See, under Obasanjo, you see governors in the south, they gathered and they recommended, a new revenue formula to President Obasanjo at that time. They said the federal government should take 36. The states should take 36, local government 25, FCT 1, then ecological fund 2. Believe me, I'm 100% sure that if we had adopted that formula, not this politicized, revenue allocation system we are doing, Nigeria would have moved in terms of development on a faster, scale than what we are having now.
Babajide, so what's the way out of this? Now, if Fashola and President Buhari want to take charge of their federal roads, and state governors are told...
Don't say there. That's helping them to personalize.
That's what he's quoting what he said.
It doesn't mean that because he used it, then it is right. No, it shouldn't be you saying their. It shouldn't be you saying their. No, it's not their roads. Our roads.
It's our roads.
That's even how to galvanize your people.
Yeah, I remember governor of Ogun State, Ibikun Amesu, we said there are no federal people. So the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, he was always doing the palliative.
Bad portions. Yes,
the bad portions. I remember.
That's the way it should be.
So if we are to look at it now, it's a constitutional thing. That means the governors will have to just leave those portion of projects and wait for the federal government to do something.
I know they are working on a new revenue allocation formula, and this president is keen about it. If he wasn't keen about it, he wouldn't have given all the support that he has given for a new revenue allocation formula to happen. So we give him credit for that. Beyond that, some of the things that we have put on the exclusive legislative list, they have to move out of.
Unnecessary.
Because these are the things that make the federal government look like
very heavy, a
clay-footed elephant. You just cannot handle all of what you have taken on.
Driver's license.
There's no point. There's really no point. And I'm saying that, look, whether we like it or not, whether it's Trunk A road, Trunk B road, Trunk C, we don't have good roads in our country. He was talking about the southeast. It is made worse because of erosion and all that. Because water and roads are like water and oil. They don't function. They don't function like friends. That's why roads are better and roads last longer in the north. The volume of rainfall is not like here. Okay. The cycle of rainfall in some northern states is just 3 months. And then that's it. That's the way God designed it. Yet, northern states.
Okay. My first caller, John, is calling from Lagos. Thank you for holding on, John.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank God for the work you people are doing.
Thank you.
God will really bless you.
Thank you, John.
My regards to Mr. Babajide.
Yes, sir.
I agree to.
Apology to other people. Please, you are doing the right thing just now. The way from Saki to Ilorin, there is a bridge there. No vehicle can pass that bridge. From Saki to Ilorin and Federal Road. If you travel from Mijiba going to Kaba, I have to park my vehicle somewhere and I took Okada. From Umara down to Egbe, there's no road there. That's our place. So please help us talk to them. Maybe there will be emergency on road construction. Maybe they will declare emergency on that section. The Lord will bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Thanks for your call.
So the point I'm making is some of those things have to be taken off. The federal government lacks the capacity to take on all of the things that it had, that the Constitution had.
So-called exclusive lists.
So I'm saying that those roads running through a state, linking local governments together, and then you call them federal roads, they should not be federal roads. They should belong to the states, and the states should be able to manage them. And of course, you give the states greater allocation. Because when you even look at the road networks, you see that the combination of state and local government, they have far more roads than the federal government. And we know that infrastructure costs money. So beyond that, we must revive the railway system, because this is what has killed our roads. All those trailers carrying dead weight, the roads are not designed to carry dead weight. And trailers carry dead weight, and so they stay on the road, stationary. Look at our expressways. Look, there was this road that they did, I think it's even Iloni-Ogbomoso Expressway. When I saw that, you know, that road was excellent at one point, that when you are driving, you could even do like 170 kilometers per hour on it. Not remembering that
Ogbomoso.
Your life, you are putting your life at risk.
Yes. I remember that road.
Go and see, then Oyo, that Oyo Expressway.
Yes, that's another good road.
Oyo it's no longer good. Go and see that road now. It's damaged.
Really?
Because of trucks, yes.
Because of trailers.
Have you not been using that road?
It's because of trailers.
Damaged.
Very good road.
Yes. Some portions you just
because they are not meant to carry the kind of dead weight that they are carrying. So if we can even come up, especially for people in the southern part of the country, let's come up with concrete roads. Concrete roads to make them with cement and all that. They will last longer. Because erosion savages these roads that we are constructing with bitumen, and the erosion savages them. But the concrete roads will last longer. I'm happy that even Dangote is constructing.
Yeah, they're using it for the Port Road now.
Yes, so this is the way to go. Then, of course, private-public partnership. Because you don't have the money to fix your infrastructure. Your infrastructure is, in some cases, 50 years old. You've not got the money. Embrace the PPP idea. If you embrace it, a lot more of these people will come in. They can toll those roads. They can toll those roads. If you give us excellent roads and you toll, I don't think it is a bad idea. But if you are tolling, if I know that we are now really running rampant looking for revenue. But the point has to be made.
Bad roads.
The point has to be made, Ayo, that it is not revenue that makes countries wealthy. It is production. If we do not focus on production, we will ultimately be democratizing poverty and we'll tell ourselves that we are looking for revenue. So I'm not against the idea of a toll gates returning, because after all, even abroad, they use them. But the roads must be constantly fixed. Don't put toll gates on a terrible road expecting our people to continue to pay.
Come and pay.
No.
Well, ADEKUNLE YUSUF, from Lekki down to Bodilon, that toll, sometimes I go through it 3-4 times a week. I'll pay because I'm going through a good road. Lekki Expressway too, if I have anything doing on the island, go through it. By default, it won't just come to my head that, oh, this money, I will know I'm going to pay. I've never tried the alternative routes.
As for me, I'm totally against reintroduction of, toll plazas.
Okay, it's allowed, yeah?
I'm totally 100%, because what is government for? All the roads you have not been able to do. See, introduce tolls in our roads now, and you see what will happen? You will add to the cost, the prices of foodstuffs, and you increase poverty at a time when...
Not by government, he's talking about private partnership.
An
individual can decide, by company, might decide to say, okay, I want to do this road.
Whether it is collected by private organizations or... See, in abroad, where this idea is very popular, there are always alternative routes. And you choose. You can do this, and which is also okay. Then you want the one that looks like glass, which you want to pass and just feel like, you are flying and pay. You have alternatives. In Nigeria, we have not reached that point. When you pass through the Lekki one you are talking about, this is what I use virtually every week. I don't know of any road in Nigeria that is built fantastically like that. No. Big, wide.
The best road in Nigeria today is the airport road in Abuja, named after Yaradua.
Okay. Well, the point I was trying to make.
Abiola is calling us from Osun State.
Okay. In terms of wheat and everything.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, Abiola.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Babajide, I really appreciate what you are doing on your investigative journalism.
Thanks, sir.
And I really thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate you too, Abiola.
Yeah, Babajide, I really appreciate all your efforts.
Thank you.
Hello, Abiola. Okay.
The point I was trying to make, when you introduce tolls on these highways as we have them now, you are just trying to create additional problems.
Do you agree with that? Look, at least we know of MM2. MM2 for local airports in Lagos is not a first-class airport, but for that fact that that place is run by a private concern, that thing is working.
Because you have alternative. Don't forget that you have alternative. Don't forget that you have alternative.
It's working.
Don't forget, if you put on Ibadan, so where is the alternative?
No, you see, the thing is, even that one that is talking about is a function of the dysfunctional nature of our country, that the alternative that you are talking about and the airport exists. When the idea of concessioning the airport came,
it was meant to be
all
total,
of the
that's other this is not meant to be
use
MM2.
MM2, not the other one.
That other one.
Then they came Arik at that time.
Yes.
Said, no, nothing.
No,
it was only Arik that was using it.
Yes.
Even Air Nigeria, they all went there. It was the Arik man said, I will never, on my dead, I will never go to that place.
Yes, and
that's how it began.
That's how it began.
We do not respect concessioning agreements. Look at the one that we had with this man who brought Mavis, that brought equipment that we had never seen before. What did we do? We refused to honor the agreement. They are in court. They are in court. They will even give the court will give, they make decision. We will not obey the decision. So, but I believe that we can actually get the private sector involved. It's the private sector that, a robust private sector that can help our economy to grow. And it will give employment to so many people within our population. So for government to think that they can do all of these things by itself, it's just, they are just wasting their time.
Honestly.
They're wasting their time.
All right, still to come. Federal government steps up efforts for repatriation of another tranche of $300 million Abacha loot. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is Journalist Hangout. We're reaching you from Television Continental here in Lagos, Nigeria. Like some sorts of magic, the loot stashed in foreign banks by Nigeria's late maximum dictator, General Sani Abacha, seems endless. After several seizures, more of the loot remains. The federal government is stepping up efforts for repatriation of another tranche of $300 million Abacha loot from the United States. President Muhammadu Buhari, who gave the hint, said a memorandum of understanding to return the trapped fund back to Nigeria will be ratified by both countries. Now, Adekunle Yusuf, the president was quoted once as saying that Abacha never stole money. And if you see what Nigeria has been repatriating since 1999, since the beginning of this democratic dispensation, they've been bringing back Abacha's loot from Levistan, from different foreign countries.
Liechtenstein. Jersey Islands. Countries
different
that you
countries that you can still be talking about $300 million. How much did Abacha steal?
First of all, I think the president is lucky Nigeria, because ordinarily, by now, I would have been very, very happy for him to apologize to us, because he has always defended Abacha as a very, very honest and patriotic, Nigerian. But all evidence,
it's proven to the contrary,
shows that Abacha is not what he was,
It's about the most corrupt leader you've had in the history of Nigeria.
If not if not for the debt, at that time, he would have stolen Nigeria to death.
Yes.
With the way he was going, he was ready, to even steal ordinary human beings after the money is gone. But let's leave that. Let's leave that.
I don't get it twisted. The family is still extremely rich.
No, a lot of this money, the family capitalized on, technicalities in the law, to take care of a sizable portion of this loot.
We considered
you understand? You understand me? It is not easy to get some of this money when it's out of the country, because the laws of various countries.
Too much money in litigation.
So what foreign lawyers get is just too much. At the end of the day, you realize that, so you have to do concession here and there. Now, do you know what makes me happy? The president himself called it Abacha loot. I say, wow, good. Coming out of the mouth of our president. The president that has always declared Abacha as a honest human being. That is not a thief, he didn't steal.
$300 million.
So under Buhari, under President Buhari alone, I've lost count of number of times, you know, money has come to Nigeria as Abacha loot. I can't count again. I was
like he's the one funding our budget.
So the man President Muhammadu Buhari declared as a saint, you know, his loot is helping him. Buhari administration to fund
their projects.
Good for us. You understand?
Very good.
If I were the president, I would just apologize that, I thought I knew the man, because he served under him.
PTF chairman.
Yes, he served under, you know, Abacha. And the truth is that, what have we been doing with this loot when they come? That is one thing, because we need to be asking questions now. When we say, okay, Abacha loot, we got it, Abacha loot, why don't we attach some of these loot to specific projects that
they are using for the SIP?
That will benefit Nigerians. For example, you may decide that, since
you can decide to build a federal university with
government, you can say, okay, now,
what you are doing.
Now, we've been having, you know, when you look at
you don't need all of that to build a federal.
When you look at the rising burden of non-communicable diseases in Nigeria, for example, like cancer, it's very, very alarming. Or you may decide to build a world-class center with this money and make it so affordable that every Nigerian that is afflicted with this can have, you know, free access.
Julie, I still don't understand it. There was a time that Olusegun Obasanjo's government, they had to negotiate with the son of General Abacha.
With the family.
With the family. And at a point in time, they parted with almost $1 billion.
No, it's more than that.
It's $1 billion. What are you talking about?
And to settle out of courts.
Yes, because the case was dragging on and on, and
legal fees
and all that. It's tough. So at the end of the day, the decision was that, okay, let the family take $2 billion, and then we can take, I think, $4 billion at that time. You know, I will have to check.
Based on what they got at that time.
Yeah, based on what they got
from a certain country.
Yes,
based on what
Switzerland, if I remember very well.
The Transparency International projects that Abacha stole about $5 billion. But Abacha clearly stole more than that, because what we considered to his family, the $2 billion that we considered to his family, was just recovered from a location. And we've discovered that he kept money in so many other places. Some of those countries you don't get to hear. When you hear Jersey Island, how many people know that?
We are yet to discover as many.
Liechtenstein. How many people know that that country exists? But they know where they can keep money.
Tax-free.
Yes, and the money will be safe. You know, those havens. People like to say safe havens, but it's bad English. Those havens where they can keep money and it will be undetected and all that. So he did all of that. He's always been someone who liked to gather money and all that. I was discussing with some fellows who were saying, oh, they are talking about Abacha because Abacha is dead. This is a nonsensical thing to say. That is because Abacha is dead that they are talking about his money. Other people have died. Shehu Shagari was president of this country. He has died. Who has talked about his money that was stashed anywhere? There will be Murtala Mohammed died. Who has talked about his money that was kept somewhere? Yaradua died. Who has talked about his money that was kept somewhere? So this is the way we are. There are some people who don't like it when you talk about this. To them, Abacha always smells like roses. But the truth is, Abacha looted this country.
We are talking about 21 years after.
Abacha looted this country. No,
20.
No, yes, it was in 2008.
Yeah.
It was in 2008 that President Buhari made that famous statement. June 2008 in Kano, when they were doing the 10th anniversary of his death, that President Buhari made that statement that whatever people may say, you work with him. Yes. When you go to a funeral or you go to an event organized or dominated by people who are close to the deceased, you don't want to. They say it's not good to speak ill of the dead. It's possible that that was what he was thinking, but nobody told him to be saying that the man never stole. You can still talk about some of his qualities, but to now be saying that he didn't steal,
is that categorical?
That is wrong. And then with your own mouth, you are reading, it was said the $300 million recently identified as part of the Abacha money laundering case. What is money laundering if not theft? So with your own mouth, you are reading and telling us that money is coming, that we should look forward to the money that is coming. That's why our leaders have to be careful, because the internet never forgets.
Jide, where did you get this kind of money?
It was a military regime. Nobody will ask him questions. Ayo, we were, if you remember Oputa panel, when they were during the Oputa panel, Brigadier General Sabo, who was the director of military intelligence, he said that they had a meeting of the ruling council where it was decided, where the then president said, let us go and take money from the strategic reserve and pay ourselves severance.
I remember.
You remember?
The person involved in this thing, I remember.
General Sabo said it.
Yes.
So that was a military regime.
As a payoff.
Do you want to die? Who will question him? Who will question him? Abacha, that one of his children wanted to buy a building, and a naval general was not prepared to sell the building. What did they do to Kwaleye? They bundled him into a car. That was a man who was this thing, a GOC during his time.
General officer commanding.
But you know they call it flag officer commanding. That's what they call them in the Navy.
Okay.
They took him.
FOC.
They took him to the lagoon. On top of the bridge, they said, "Can you see this river? This is where you will end up." They were running rampant. They were misbehaving. And anyone who wanted peace had to be very careful with them. You have to be very careful with them. There are so many things that they did at that time. But it was a military regime. They could waste you.
You're just going to CBN, print money, take it outside.
Print money. No, take money. They take it. Will you question them? What will you do?
Jide was calling it a military regime. It was abnormal military regime. The kind we have never seen.
But it was not a civilian regime. No, it doesn't need the National Assembly. It didn't need the National Assembly.
It was a military regime.
Rampaging one.
Yes, of lunatics. You know what they did that time?
They didn't behave like human beings at all.
AFRC, Armed Forces Ruling Council.
No, I know. It was PRC, Provisional Ruling Council. Under Abacha throughout.
Okay.
It was IBB and others that used that. Abacha used PRC, Provisional Ruling Council.
I remember that first
and we say
all
our
detractors ruthlessly dealt with.
Al-Mustafa as chief security officer was running riot, was misbehaving, was disrespecting his seniors. So Foluwe was the NYC director, and they wanted
DG.
The DG. Yes, now they wanted his in-law, Al-Mustafa's in-law, posted to Abuja, and the man was not prepared to do it. They sent a detachment of soldiers to go and bundle a whole colonel, senior to Al-Mustafa. Yes. Al-Mustafa, who couldn't pass his command and staff college exam
to become a major,
to move from major to lieutenant colonel. He didn't pass.
I have Mohammed is calling us from Dublin.
Abi, he passed.
No,
he didn't pass.
He didn't pass.
Thank you for joining us, Mohammed.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Ojibako.
Good evening, it's Ozubako. Good evening.
And Mr.
Otitoji.
Otitoji.
Thank you, sir.
And the other gentleman there, I'm sorry I forgot his name.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Adekunle, yeah, good evening.
Yes.
This is a very interesting
Have they recovered any money from Dublin?
Ireland.
In Ireland?
Yeah, I'm happy to be part of this.
Mohammed, we're asking a question. Have they recovered another Abacha loot from Ireland? Do you have information?
No information. Maybe we're hoping. Mr. Babajide, my contribution today is this. Every right-thinking Nigerians will not be happy to what happened during Abacha administration. But what we are trying to say, what other Nigerians are trying to say is this. It's very easy to assess his own roots, being the fact that he is no longer alive. Not that I'm in support of it, but a lot of serving Nigerians who obviously everybody knows they looted Nigeria. Why are they not trying to at least get no matter what out of them? And recently, some years back, there are about this Panama, whatever, money offshore, names of prominent Nigerians are mentioned. To mention but few, in the lights of former Senate President David Marks, Bukola Sharakis, many of them that they have money offshores around in Panama. Up to now, nothing happens.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Not on the scale of Abacha. Not on the scale of Abacha.
Everyone who has had opportunity to govern Nigeria at the state or federal level, none of them has ever been a saint. We know that. But the mindless looting under Abacha,
that's what we are talking about.
Since 1998, after he died,
we are still recovering money.
Repatriating money. 20 years
Look,
after.
the truth is,
we are talking about $300 million now.
He was peerless. He was peerless. He was peerless in this country. He's the undisputed king of looters. So this is the thing. It's not a matter of. That's why we gave the example. He's not the first person, even from the northwest, to be president.
President Yaradua died.
President Yaradua died now.
I've not seen anyone who came.
So why are they saying that because he's dead? Why are they not recovering Yaradua's loot? If ever Yaradua looted Nigeria anywhere, why are they not recovering his own?
At least that is an example.
There are a lot of people too who have been president who will eventually die. They will not find. Shehu Shagari was president for 4 years.
Former President Obasanjo described it as sheer madness when he was talking about this loot.
There are some people that will say all kinds of things. They've stolen so much money, we won't provide evidence. If we don't have the evidence, then it's pointless.
Okay, Yinka is calling us from Lagos.
Yes, please.
Yes, thank you for joining us, Yinka.
Thank you very much.
All right, go ahead.
I just want to contribute towards what they are discussing.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, Yinka.
Good evening,
You're on.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen of the press, God bless you. I appreciate what you are saying. I always stay on nightly to witness or to listen to what you are saying, but during the daytime, I think I can contribute. This Abacha loot we're talking about, you've just shown us the road on Auchi, Bendel. Go to Traki, where I've just returned from, is in a mess. Can this loot be diverted towards repairing roads in Nigeria? If you build any university with this, like Mr. Yusuf was suggesting, I can assure you the university may be for the high and mighty. It may not go round.
No, it's a federal university.
Are you with me, please?
Okay.
Secondly, this loot, if we really get our priorities right, why are we building rail lines towards Niger Republic? Is Niger part of Nigeria? One. Then two, again, this Ruga, whatever, you are planning billions of dollars to go into it.
Thank you, Yinka.
Let's leave Ruga alone. Ruga is not part of the discussion.
Thank you.
Let's leave Ruga alone.
Thank you, Yinka. The bottom line is that Abacha loot should not be relooted.
Yes, that would be worse.
Double jeopardy.
Yeah. What they have been doing with Abacha loot, this time around, we wanted to attach it to one thing that will benefit
significant
all, and that all people
I think they're trying to do is with the SIP
instead of lumping into the budget or budget, they should use it to one single thing that will benefit all the whole Nigeria.
Okay, and finally now, it is so depressing that men who are supposed to defend the country and its citizens do not have the boldness themselves to stand up and fight. This was the situation during the Boko Haram attack on the military outpost in Gubio, a community in Borno State. A major and 21 soldiers were said to have absconded from their duty posts to an unknown destination. The Nigerian army has declared them wanted, and they have to face disciplinary action when apprehended. Jide, this is not new. This is not new.
No, it's just really
if you remember, was the former spokesman of Nigerian army?
Olukolade.
Yes.
He used to tell us that it was a tactical maneuver.
And you know, Olukolade and the Minister of Defense of the Niger Republic, they were exchanging words.
Okay.
And the Minister of Defense of Niger Republic described Nigerian soldiers as cowards who do not stand up to fight. Olukolade now said, look, Nigerians are people who recruit for Boko Haram.
Okay.
You know, so they exchange words. Okay. But this whole thing, soldiers refusing to fight. Remember, it happened a lot during the Jonathan era. You know, where when Boko Haram invaded Baga that time, all the weapons that we had bought, we had not even removed them from their pallets. And these guys came and packed everything. So there's a problem.
Shekau broadcast that
yes,
time.
And he was saying that, look, the weapons you have here can win the war. Shekau was saying that.
They were showing us.
But the truth is, we need to investigate the circumstances. If Boko Haram comes with fighters 2 or 3 times the number of fighters or soldiers that you put at a location, it will be foolhardy for them to say they want to confront them. They will run away.
Like 500 coming to around 24.
That is what happened even in Chibok. You know, when they went to Chibok, we didn't have enough soldiers guiding the school. And they came in trucks. So they easily overwhelmed. Those soldiers too ran away. And they took over the school. This is what happens. If Boko Haram wants a military base desperately, they have in intel, they will first discover like how many troops you have on ground.
That's why sometimes they'll fly their drones.
They have drones, yes, they use their drones. They will now come with maybe 2 times the number of troops that you have. They know the weapons that you carry. They will come with those weapons and even bring more. We have said that some of the weapons coming in through Libya for Boko Haram, coming in through Libya to Chad and all that for Boko Haram, they are more sophisticated than we have.
Those are some of the weapons that they have NATO inscription on NATO.
Yes, with NATO inscription on them. You will see, you know that they were not part of our own inventory. So they will be advanced models of what we have. So do you expect them to? So that's why I'm saying this has to be investigated. Because if those guys, and it's not the first time that soldiers will run away. That's why we always say missing. The ones who die, we call them missing, we declare them dead. KIA, killed in action. But some can run away and come back. They say the soldier who runs away lives to fight another day. If I were a soldier, and I can see that these people have come with maximum force, high volume force, and they are more than 3 times the number
what Jide used to say, anti-aircraft.
You are now, you look at the weapons that you have, you will now say you want to fight them. It doesn't happen. It's not the first time. But you see this Gubio, these guys have repeatedly gone to Gubio and Magumeri and even Ganze and Gajiram, the hometown of Baba Gana Kingibe. They have consistently gone to that place, those communities, and they will overrun soldiers there. So what is going on? You cannot say that, okay, that because you have created super camps, then those communities will remain unprotected. You keep soldiers there in daytime, and then the soldiers don't sleep there, they'll go elsewhere. Of course, the Boko Haram will know that, okay, the number of soldiers here, they are not enough because there is no functional army base. So this is the thing. They can, if they can overwhelm you, look, there is what is called tactical retreat. It is senseless to see about 300 soldiers coming. You people are now up to 50. And you say you want to face them. Fight them. No. Any commander who encourages that is a bad commander.
Baba Adekunle, the person leading this particular troop, a major. A major is not a small boy in Nigeria.
No, he's a commander.
So one bird shall be one of that. A major, one eagle. So you know that, look, there's something wrong somewhere. For him to have deserted, looking for him, and I don't know.
Sometimes I ask, I say, who monitors the monitor? Some people, when the leadership knows that you can always, hey, let's court-martial them, let's do this. Who monitors the leadership itself? There must be some things that are very, very wrong. Oh, who wants to die cheaply? I don't think anyone. To me, it makes sense when you know that all odds are against you. Then what do you want to do? You vote with your feet. Because it's better to be alive.
I've seen the story.
I'll fight another day.
Than to just waste your life.
Just like that.
Cheaply. But in all of this, there must be deep-seated problems that we don't know.
And when you ask those people,
because each time they talk, look at the idea of super camp. The idea of super camp will not give much to the military. What they want to achieve is
to protect themselves.
It's giving a lot of advantage to the enemies. That is the Boko Haram.
To hold more posts.
Believe me, it's
That's
easier.
Why they're almost totally in control.
Believe me, today, I'm sorry to say it, it's easier for Boko Haram to do whatever they want to do than before because of these super camps. So the idea of super camp, as good on paper as it is, in reality, it is not working. And when you expect, soldiers to just waste their lives, and I don't think intelligent ones among them will want to do that. So we should go deeper, investigate the circumstances and correct some of these mistakes. We can't continue with super camps.
Ultimately, you look at the people that took 400 million naira and they deserted, and they dropped their rifles, they dropped everything that they could be, looking for, that is Nigeria Museum, dropped it, and they just, that 400 million naira, they deserted and went into
That's their pension.
Desertion is common in the army now. Very, very common.
It is dangerous.
Some of them are not even being allowed to live as we speak. There's a particular guy that I was introduced to, about 1.5 years ago. The last time I called him, he said he had left the army. So desertion is common because
unannounced.
Yes, morale is low. People are running away. People are running away. So people are leaving the army, running away. They don't want to continue with this war. And that's why I advised the president. You said to us that you are going to make money available for emergency weapons procurement. Mr. President, where are the weapons that you promised? Because you said emergency weapon. You announced it, that I will give approval for emergency weapons procurement. Because we need it in a time like this. We are talking about those boys. It could be the issue of weapons. So you cannot, if our weapons are old, and what used to be a ragtag army, they now have weapons that are more modern than our own. That's no way we won't be suffering calamities on the war front. They will be suffering calamities. They will be defeating us. This is the thing. No, it's clear that, okay, he and the people that he command, they just decided to retreat. They will find them. I know, it happened even Beko's son too. Because Beko's son was commanding Baga. You know, it's not in all cases that a soldier will just stand. They'll say, oh, yeah, come and kill me. Nobody does that now. If you can see that this overwhelming force coming, you don't stand a chance. They will run away. It's a normal thing. It's not a new thing. But of course, Beko's son was put on trial that time too. You know, yes, during Jonathan's time, Beko's son was put on trial. It's not the first time that soldiers will abscond.
So it's wrong to desert, or it's wrong to abscond when you now resurface.
The retreat, tactical retreat, there's nothing wrong about it. And I believe that these guys can plead that.
Tactical retreat,
yes.
Especially if they come
there was
back
a time that Boko Haram overwhelmed the Nigerian army base. You know what our soldiers did? They ran into Cameroon to take refuge in a school there. And later on, Cameroonian forces now release them to
brought them
tactical maneuver.
Tactical retreat. So that your life can be
safe and intact. It's better to be alive.
Yes, better to be alive.
AKA Koneshi. Thank you for being part of this edition.
Thank you.
DK himself. And that's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can also watch Journalist Hangout on our platforms showing on the screen. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.